G'day, Finnroo here. How you doing? I'm just preparing for a very exciting brew that I'm going to do tomorrow. I hope, if all things go to plan. I'm going to be doing the Octane Red IPA, which was designed and built by our friend TubeDinoz up in Auckland. So I'll tell you about it. Tell you what I'm going to do. Tell you a wee bit about his beer and what he did. 2016. And my take on it. So I just poured myself an ale and just hang on a sec. Hope you've all been doing well. There's the screaming monkey, or close but no monkey. I just turned the gas up a little bit before because she'd gone down. And it was pouring a bit quiet, but it's beautiful. It's well over 30 degrees Celsius here in the brew shed, to tell you that. It is stinking hot. I'm really wet and sweating. Terrible stuff. But mind you, can't complain. So yeah, welcome along. So I'm really excited to be doing cheers. Screaming Monkey. That was Stoney's. That was the first beer of copying subscribers, people I've been subscribed to, their beers. So this is Stoneyard Vineyards, the Screaming Yellow Monkey, which is a peanut butter stout. Unfortunately, I didn't put any peanut butter in. That's another story. You would have heard that before. So this one is outstanding. So I'm so happy that I did this. Right. So I've got the grains here for the Dinoz Red Octane. So what I've got here, first of all, I'll tell you what the grains are that I'm going to be using in my interpretation of TubeDinoz beer. I've actually just had a look at his video of this. He did a couple of versions of it, and I went for version 2, and I think his one that he preferred was version 1, but I'd already got the grains at that point. So it's the way it works, isn't it? Okay, so what I've got is 2K. This is for a full batch, and Dino's one was a half. He always most of the time works in half batches, and he does a few other interesting things to his brew process too, which we'll get to. I'm actually quite intrigued about it. Totally different brew process to me. Well, not totally, but he does. He's got his own way of doing it. I've tasted the beers; they're fabulous. So anyway, what I've got, my take on the Octane Red IPA is 2 kg of ale malt, 2 kg of Vienna malt. I've got 500 grams of medium crystal. I've got 500 grams of Shepherd's Delight, and I think the malt that you get in other parts of the world, if you're doing a Shepherd's Delight, is like a Cara Red or something like that. It gives it the red colour. So 500 grams of that. But I've also added, to put my own twist on it, 200 grams of wheat malt. Okay, so that's, why did I do that? I've got no idea. It's just sometimes you have this urge to. So that's what I've done. The wheat malt's going to add, although I saw Dino's, I was just looking at it, and they had plenty of head retention, a beautifully brewed beer by the look of it. Nice and red with a nice lacing and all the business. Anyway, so I've put 200 grams of wheat malt in. I'm going to do an 80-minute mash. I'm going to do an 80-minute boil, because that's part of my process. So we've talked about that before. So Dino did a 60-minute boil. Now, the hops used, Dino used Amarillo, Columbus, and Centennial, if I'm not mistaken. Centennial, yeah. I couldn't get Centennial, so I swapped that out for Cascade. So I'm using Amarillo, Columbus, and Cascade. We'll go with what we've got. So my now this is where it gets a little bit interesting. Let's pop this up here. This gets a little bit interesting here. For my brew process and my taste and the way that I like to brew, and looking at Dino's brew process and the way that he likes to do his brewing, you'll find that well, I don't know how far back it goes, but he does a very interesting thing. Most of his hop additions, and I think apparently it's getting more and more popular, but he's the first guy that I've heard that sort of does it like this, adding hops sort of very late in the boil, so no 60-minute addition or 30-minute addition or 20-minute addition. I think his hops went in, his first hops went in at 10 minutes, and then the flame out was next, whirlpool, hop stand, all that jargon, and dry hopping. So with me though, with the way that I like to do things, I'm not a huge hop man, as you know, but I do enjoy hops, but just not to that extent. So what I'm doing is, I've got my Amarillo, Columbus and Cascade. I've got 5 grams of each going in at first wort, 80-minute first wort. And then at 20 minutes, I've got 10 grams of each going in at 20 minutes. And then at 5 minutes, I've got another 10 grams of each going in. And then at 1 minute, I've got 10 grams of each going in. Gives me a total of 115 grams of hop for a full batch. Now, just to compare that to Dino's version, you need 150 grams of hops for a half batch. So if I was to do it the same as him, I'd be using 300 grams of hops. And I know that for my palate, I don't think I would like it, and it would cost me quite a bit of cash. It's not the be all and end all, but I'm thinking I'll stick to my brew process and the way they like to do things, and I'll do my own take, the Finnroo home brewing take on Dinoz Octane Red IPA. So he ended up with the other target that I was going for was the IBU, which is 40. So 40 IBUs for me is getting up there. So the IBUs are going to be the same. So that'll be interesting to won't it? I'll bottle him a bottle and a couple of bottles, and I'll send it up to him, and he can remember what his other ones were like and have a taste test. So that'll be fun too, eh? So that's 40 IBUs. So 40 IBUs. He had an overall gravity of 1054 with a finishing gravity of 1013. I'm using USO 5. I would imagine I'm going to get mine down to about the same, or 1010, maybe lower, I think. So I'm not sure if he used controlled fermentation. I think he does. I would imagine that he does. I can't remember seeing anything about that, so that's interesting. So what I'm going to be doing is as normal 19 degrees for 3 days, bumping it up to 22 for the final 7 whether it's finished or not, unless I'm in a hurry, and then I'll cold crash it for 3 days. So hopefully that'll clear it up pretty nicely. Oh, Jesus, warm in here. Cheers. We're expecting thunder and lightning. Cheers. Wonderful. Can you hear thunder, Baxter? Doesn't like thunder, doesn't like fireworks. Do your boy. You notice that about big dogs? They don't like that sort of thing. Little dogs couldn't give a shit. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I think that's all I've got to talk about. So as I say, Dino made a half batch, 150 grams for his half batch, and I'm doing a full batch with 115 grams. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's sort of delving into what other guys are doing, but putting my own spin on it. Really, really good. And I had something else. Oh, yes, I do have something else to talk about before I go. So brew days tomorrow. I might post a wee bit of footage up if you're interested, just to show that I'm doing something. So check out in the description below for the first thing is about for that Dinoz video on his Octane Red IPA, because it'll show you where he got the what made him want to do it, because there was a beer that he liked at about, I can't remember, it was 8% or something like that, and he wanted to copy it. He did one for the same hops that he thought was close for at about 5.3%, which is, oh, bit of thunder there, son. Hey, bit of thunder. Coming up here. Hey, bit of thunder. Doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. I don't mind it, of course. So, the other thing I wanted to tell you, I'll say to you, is that really enjoyed the feedback from my New Year's Eve special. Everyone came out of the woodwork to say g'day, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. So cheers and thanks to that. Thanks so much. I really enjoyed the comments. But I'm also doing, each week, I'm going to put in the comments Spotify link to tunes, the tunes that I like to brew to. You know, just stuff Thin Lizzy, Iron Maiden, bit of everything really. Just stick it on. It'll be on there. Just click on it, and it'll take you to the page. You don't have to do anything else. And each week I'll just update it with a few more tunes. And if you're keen, if you want to, if you like to listen to a bit of music while you're brewing, there's all sorts of stuff on there. There's a lot of metal on there, but it's old school metal. It's not, you know. Yeah. There's some symphonic metal. There'll be lots of different stuff. There'll be a few pop tunes and just different stuff to sing along to and brew to. And so I'm going to be putting this a Spotify link in the description, and it'll be called something like Finnroo Home Brewing Spotify musical. It'll be something, you'll see it and you get onto it. So that's it from me. I'm going to nurture these poor animals and feed them, and because they're so frightened of the thunder and lightning. God damn, it's so exciting. It hits you like a hammer. God damn. Thin Lizzy, Phil in it. Cheers, guys. You take care, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow. Cheers. Ooh, take care.